If you are an architecture student in your final years, or you have just graduated and you are looking for your first job, you're hearing a lot of noise right now. And the loudest one is this: switch your career to BIM. I want to challenge that today because I think it's the wrong way to think about it. And the way you think about it changes everything. You studied architecture for 5 years, you became an architect, and now someone's telling you to switch to BIM. Let me say this clearly: learning BIM is not switching your career, learning BIM is upgrading yourself. You are still an architect, that's integral to who you are. BIM is an add on. It's how you become a better architect, more efficient, more capable, the architect of this generation. BIM came into the industry to improve the processes, the workflows, to deliver projects better. So if someone tells you to switch from architecture to BIM, that framing is wrong. You're not leaving architecture, you are upgrading it. And this matters because if you think it's a career switch, you'll approach it completely differently, anxiously, like you are abandoning something. You are not. So get the mindset right first. I'm learning BIM so I can deliver better, work with more advanced firms, and become an upgraded architect. That should be the mindset. Now, how do you actually learn it? Because in the market, there are 100 courses, the expensive ones and the cheap ones. And most of them get one thing wrong. When you learn BIM, you have to learn BIM, not just one software. If you only learn Revit from YouTube tutorials, you don't become an architect who knows BIM. You become a 3D modeler, and there is a big difference. Let me give you the example I always use. Think about cooking. Cooking is a process. A knife is one tool used in that process. BIM and Revit are exactly that. BIM is the process, the approach to designing and delivering projects, and Revit is just one of the tools inside it. There are many other tools in the BIM process. So when you learn BIM properly, it changes your entire approach to how you design and deliver. It's not learn a software, do the 3D model, generate the drawings. That's one small part. And this is exactly where people struggle. They walk into interviews knowing basic Revit and they can't crack it because they don't know how BIM actually works. They don't know how Revit is supposed to sit inside the BIM process. And here is the real problem in the industry: BIM is being used as a separate layer. You have seen it. BIM is mandatory on a project, but the architect hasn't upgraded. So they designed the old way, finish the design, and then just to tick the box, hand it to a consultancy to make the BIM model. That's not BIM. You can absolutely hire a consultancy. That's fine if your firm doesn't have the capability, but you hire them at the start so the BIM model develops in parallel with the design. That's when you get the full advantage of BIM, right from design to construction, all the way to handing over the client an as-built model. BIM should never be a separate layer bolted on at the end. It should be integral to the design process from day one. So when you choose where to learn BIM, learn it from someone who teaches it that way. Integrate it into design practically, not as a list of software commands. Because if you learn it as commands, you will learn it and forget it. Learn it properly, and I promise you something: it feels like gaining a superpower. After it, you will never want to open AutoCAD and SketchUp for a project again. You will instinctively reach for the BIM workflow because it's just better. Our students say it all the time. Why didn't we learn this earlier? Our life would have been so much easier. The fourth and fifth years, especially, our whole academic life would have been better. That's what happens. Once you have upgraded, there is no going back. But you have to learn BIM the proper way. This BIM as an integrated process, not a software, not a career switch, is the exact philosophy behind the cohort we are running at Polygon as an approved scaling partner of Medhavi Skills University. If this way of thinking resonates with you, That's the way we teach. The door's open if you want to walk through it. We'll talk again next time.